Pelosi's expert was also a business partner. In May 2010, then Speaker Nancy Pelosi took a podium in the Capitol to introduce a half-dozen economic experts she had convened for a meeting on how to jumpstart the economy. The group had met for several hours with top Democratic leaders, and Pelosi invited them to speak publicly on their perspectives on economic growth. What Pelosi did not mention is that one of the men in the group was her son's boss and a partner with her husband in more than half a dozen investments, including one that generated more than $100,000 in income for the Speaker's family last year. It was the fourth time since 2007 that Pelosi had invited San Francisco investment banker Hambrecht to be a part of the Economic Policy Forum on the Hill, and the third time she appeared at a podium with him to speak to reporters. At none of those events did then Speaker reveal her financial ties to Hambrecht, and House rules did not require her to do so. At a time when the connection between a member of Congress, personal finance, and public role has been spotlighted by the proposed Stock Act, which would prohibit lawmakers from trading on legislative knowledge. The case of Pelosi and her family's investment advisor is a reminder of how few rules exist to govern these relationships. According to her personal financial disclosure form for 2010, Pelosi's husband, Paul, had holdings in more than a half dozen companies tied to the Hambrecht's investment banking firm W.R. Hambrecht & Co. The best-known Hambrecht-Pelosi partnership is the struggling United Football League. In October of 2009, Washington Post story reported that Paul Pelosi had purchased a team in Hambrecht's nascent league for $12 million. The article was published 4 days before Hambrecht participated in another of Pelosi's economic forums. After that 4-hour meeting, Pelosi introduced Hambrecht and several other leading economists at a news conference, saying they are going to tell you some of their forecasts that they told us about, some of the options that we may have in investments, in tax policy, and budgetary overview, and how we create jobs in the most physically sound way, according to CQ transcript. Again, Pelosi did not mention her family's investments with Hambrecht. According to Pelosi disclosure form, most of the Hambrecht Link investments produced losses or very little income last year, except for one. An investment worth $5 million to $25 million in an investment firm called Matthews International Capital Management. The firm, partly owned by Hambrecht, specializes in Asian investments and earned Paul Pelosi somewhere from $100,000 to $1 million in income last year. Paul Pelosi also managed a brokerage account with Hambrecht's firm last year worth $500,000 to $1 million. The Pelosi son, Paul Pelosi Jr., worked at Hambrecht's company as an investment banker from July 2009 to September 2011. But a source familiar with his employment said he did not work on any investments that his family had through the company. The two families have been friends for many years, and the Hambrechts have donated more than $2 million to the Democratic campaigns and causes, according to the Federal Election Commission's records. Hambrecht did not respond to request for a comment on this article. Pelosi never called Hambrecht as a witness at a hearing, nor did she name him to any official task force. Pelosi spokesman Drew Hamill said Bill Hambrecht has an intellectual resource on both sides of the Capitol. In these meetings, Hambrecht has spoken about the need, in light of financial crisis, to help keep homeowners in their homes, help small business grow and hire, and help small banks gain access to credit. Y'all can read the rest. I will leave the link in the description below.